My stock of the day, I thought we'd take a look at Lynas Rare Earths, reporting record production and sales in the fiscal third quarter as demand for the specialised metals at mines surged amid a global push to electrify vehicles and curb carbon emissions. Looking ahead, the company expects demand for rare earths to remain strong, particularly in the automotive industry, as companies pivot towards clean energy to tackle climate change. Shares down a bit today, down just over 1.5% general trend of the day. And as we've mentioned a lot on this program, rare earths aren't that rare except outside of China. And that's giving companies like this a bit of a boost as the Americans and Europeans go, ooh, we don't want all our rare earths in communist countries, so let's encourage investment into Western producers. Mark Moreland, what did you think of the result and the stock?
Well, Lynas is not a company we've ever followed,
right.
So I'll put that on the.
Yep.
So I don't know it in detail, but I had a look at their report. I mean, obviously the rare earth prices jumped significantly, which has really boosted their earnings, and they've got plenty of cash. It passes all of our filters on Conscious Investor, except for stability of earnings growth, which is about 45%. We need at least 60%, so it doesn't actually pass, but it looks pretty good. I think they've got a strong tailwind behind them for the reasons you said. And there's obviously going to be a trend. There is a trend now to countries wanting to be more self-reliant than have all their eggs in Russia or China, which
sort of a strategic issue.
Yeah, so it makes sense. But that's been playing out for a long time. I mean, I used to be an investor in Lynas about 10 years ago, 12 years ago or something, before I got serious about my investing, as in being more looking for more certain returns.
Right.
Whereas, so Lynas is more speculative from our point of view, but look, it looks pretty good. We're showing it, if it can maintain its EPS growth rate at this level, which is a big if, we're showing about a 50% per year return.
50?
Yeah, because what you've got, you look at the earnings versus what you're paying for it. Yeah. They've got to keep it going though.
Sure.
And I'm not saying they will. Right. And I couldn't possibly predict it because it's a commodity.
It's a commodity.
Yeah. Yep. But on balance, I think it looks pretty good.
Okay.
But not a Teaminvest stock.
Okay. So you have your red and your green.
Yeah. So it passes in greens on everything except stability.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Which would fail it. We'd never look at it as a formal review for that reason, because we're rules based.
Right.
So we makes life simple.
So it's a no for you under the filter, even though it passes your filters.
Except for one.
Right.
Stability.
So they all have to pass every filter.
Yeah.
Okay. David?
Well, look, if you're a lucky holder of this stock, I mean, I looked at this stock. I thought about buying it when it was $1.60 in 2020 and took my eye off the ball and look where it is now.
Yep.
You know? I like Lynas. I think the quarterly report, the March quarterly they released this morning was very strong. The rare earth price they're getting per kilo went from $65 an average price per kilo, and in March quarter it was $144.
Yeah.
So they're getting some great margin on their product, that's for sure. And there's a lot of demand for rare earth, of course, in different applications in the automotive industry and cameras and you name it. The only question I have about the trend here is it's pulled back sharply, as you can see there on that chart that we just saw a moment ago. So it's on valuation. It's 8.8 billion. Haven't declared a dividend yet. No doubt they will. And of course, like Mark was saying, it all depends on the commodity that they're selling, of course. So I like it, but just on valuation, I'd prefer to buy it at a lower level.
Right.
It's a hold if you've got it.
Yep.
Or take some profits if you bought them at much lower levels, and there's always,
So where's that entry price for you? If it's around.
That's a good question. That's what I was just looking at. In fact, if it got back to about, there's a big support level just below $9 at $8.80 is a good level there. You don't want to see it go below $8.20. That's what they call the 50-week moving average. So if you're looking at long-term trends, that's been in place since it moved up across above the 50 was back in July, August 2020. Moved above what I call the 50-week moving average, and it's stayed above that. So if you really are looking at $8.20 would be a great area to buy.
Yeah. Okay.
But you wouldn't want to see it close below that moving average.
Okay. All right.